Good afternoon, friends. Today is May 3rd. I am recording this video for the next week, starting on Monday, which is May 6th. The first is I have a couple of announcements. The first is um, Adrienne Togari of Trading on Target. She's presenting this fantastic presentation, evolution of a master trader. If you guys have not already received an email from me or have not seen my website, please do go and see the details of it. It's actually, if you go into my website, you'll see this seminars section, or you could register it right from the my website itself. But one of the thing what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you the seminar here itself, and you can read the evolution of a master trader. And then I am also presenting another presentation on May 8th. So the May 7th at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time is her presentation. These are the free presentations. It's about I think she said it's about an hour, and mine would be between 45 minutes to an hour too. My topic is also right here, so you could click here to register. So you would register it in there in her room. So that's where actually we'll be presenting it. And the second is I guess my website launch is delayed. It is partially done. It's not completely done. That's the reason I'm not releasing it. But what I thought I would do is I would give you guys a quick overview of my presentation. My website. This is the new website. This is still on the local server, so some of these charts are at the local side only. So what the idea behind my website is to give you the flexibility of actually looking at the intraday, daily, and daily charts, instead of actually previously I used to have the static charts which actually come onto the website itself. And here you have the abilities using the tablets or the phones to actually see just the chart itself, so that way you can just see the chart within the tablet itself. And then, so for example, if you are an intraday chart, and so you'll be seeing these intraday charts which are streaming to my website, and this is the HTML5 and CSS based. It's not a Flash based. So if you have devices which are Flash based, you can be still okay, because I'm not using the Flash on these sites. So what happens is on the intraday, you will be seeing from the current image to the past image, all day you will see these images. So you could actually, there is a slider at the bottom which you can go through and click on it and then see it, or it will automatically slide each image, or you still have the controls using the mouse to actually control these images to jump to that image. Second thing, what else you would have it is you would have an archives where you could pick a date for any date, and then you could go back to that particular date and see the intraday posts on it. At the same time, you could also do the same thing with the daily charts. So daily charts is this is of course showing from April 26, because once I post it on the server, it will have all the dates and all the up to the minute charts. So this also will have the archives where you can jump to that particular date, or you could move to any particular chart and then see it. The third option is you'd have something called a history option. The history option is for a particular stock, you can go back and see all the charts which I posted in the last 6 months. For example, here I'm showing you Google charts. In the last 6 months, the Google post. So it will go and pick all the Google posts, and then it will put you into a slider, so where you can actually slide it and see it. And you could use mouse to move, go backwards and forwards to see these images, or you could click on this small charts which I have it on the right side. You could actually jump to that chart and then go and see what is that image, or what posting is that. And then in addition to that, there's a small list of the stocks of which I track and all. So instead of typing it here, so you could come and say, well, enter a symbol to see the history. So instead of Google, let's say suppose if I want to type Microsoft and see all the posts about Microsoft, and then you will see there are 6 charts posted in the last 6 months. So you will be able to see that, and you can do this with any symbols which I track it. For example, let's go and see one of the other stock, which is You could just click on one of the chart here called a Arun, which is in Aruba Networks, which I've been posting it. I'm sure some of you guys know. So that is one of the post type of a section. And the other one is the videos, because these videos, I know I have heard some complaints about people saying, all the videos have been posted onto the main page. That takes a longer time for you to do it. So here what happens is all the videos are actually just the names are compiled into a slider. So here what we have is a chart patterns video which is posted last week to all the videos which I have posted in the past. So you could go and pick, let's say suppose a video which I posted on January 22nd, and then jump to that video, and then you can actually see it. Or you could go back to any video. You could also do it to the full screen, like that type of thing. So that's a videos option. Well, the other biggest thing which I'm doing it is now I'm actually releasing these charts which are actually categorized into its own patterns. For example, this pattern section, which you have something called ABC bulls, bears, and head and shoulders, and Gartleys, and these type of patterns. So here you could actually wanted to see only the ABC bulls patterns which I posted in the last like up to last like 3 weeks or 6 weeks type of thing. So here this is the slider which will go through these ABC bulls only which are posted into that. So that way, and again this is a chronological, that means it shows you the latest ones or the recent posts, and then it will move on to the older ones. So here also you have a small thumbnail slider, and thumbnail slider also you can jump to any chart and then see it, and then when you move your mouse onto the top of the chart, it will actually freeze it. So then if you move it again and move it outside of that chart, then it will go and start sliding it. So this is, you can do this with ABC bulls, bears, and then these head and shoulder patterns, Gartleys, and I have double bottoms at top. So these are individually, actually I will be posting these, so the current charts will be shown currently to the top. One another feature which I wanted to show you is, let's say suppose if you are in ABC bullish patterns, and then you can click on this description and videos, and this will talk about the ABC, and this is the latest material which I've been writing it. That's what is actually delaying it for me to release the website. Is basically it will show you a small description of what ABC bullish pattern is, and how do you trade it, and what is its trading technique, and some of the examples of it. So and then it will also have links to the videos where you can actually see a sample video of how it was actually traded. So that's the pattern side, and then I'm also going to highlight some of the support tools. Some of the support tools includes like my superbars or a CMI or any of these tools which I use it to detect the market context, and these are also part of this website. So it's a little bit involved. I definitely underestimated the time it takes to build it. Definitely it's taking a longer time for me to actually write it. And then on the top you will see again the same type of pages what you've been seeing it before. My research, where you'll see all my publications and articles and my presentations, and then products, and I'm actually redesigning this products page, and so you'll see different products and different, also have a different kind of bundles which I'm planning to release it. And then the seminars and the blog, and it will also, one is a blog which will link to my blog and my book, and just a little bit about myself and the contact, that type of thing. So that's about my new website, and I'll probably give you more details once it's released. I thought that I would be able to do it by this Friday. I'm not, and I'm still shooting for the next Friday. Let's see how it works out. So now let's get on to the charts itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this from here, and then let's go on and show you I think this is going to be a full screen because I was recording it for showing you the website. So now let's start looking at the S&P first. Look at what is S&P happening here. S&P, there is this S&P ABC bullish pattern which I've been talking for a really long time. 1608 was the target. Of course, it's traded at 1604. It's completely blew out of this 127 also now. And also the date, if you look at it, it was a May 6th. And the May 6th, and I guess it's today is May 3rd, and it's completed. It's 1608. And I guess would it move for higher? Seems like there's a lots of stocks which are actually quite extended, but they still have a lot more room to go up. So if that's the case, then the market next level we'll be looking at it is 1679, 1680, which is the far from it and far from now. And then the target date would be something like a 29th July. I am still cautious because I know that many times when patterns reach 127 percent of AB, they usually retrace it. And today we saw pretty strong strength, in the market in S&P, and then quite a bit of sectors which have really rallied. This is a really strong strength, but I guess the base are in a great employment report we had it. But I guess I am going to be cautious. So I have few positions I have, and I'll be talking about some of them. Let's look at what's happening with gold. Gold is amazing. Gold actually, it fell all the way, close to $1,300, and it's bouncing it back now. So now I'm still thinking that this is like, almost like a dead cat bounce, and but it has actually passed that dead cat bounce retracement ratio also. So now I'm thinking that the next target would be something like a 1530, 1535 target, and that's where it's going to complete its rectangle. So in order for it to actually reverse it, it should start trading inside of it. I do not have a gold position, but I thought that I would just mention it, saying what's happening with the gold itself. So now let's move on to actually the stocks itself. So let's first look at Apple. This is the Apple has I think I posted this quite a few times, and this has an ABC bullish pattern. Sorry, head and shoulder pattern, which had a range of up to 390 and 419 was my targets, and it reached that 390, and now it's bouncing it back. So what I'm looking at now is about $461 as a resistance for it. So if price really continues to move up, then I would think that probably the Apple has turned its trend. But until then, I'm still bearish on the stock, and 461 is probably the next resistance I'm going to be looking for it. So now let's look at Autodesk. Autodesk also has Autodesk actually their earnings are coming on May 16th, which is just about like 2 weeks from now. But what else is happening is Autodesk is developing a head and shoulder pattern. This pattern it's not tradable yet, because in order for head and shoulders to trade it, the price needs to close much below 35.75. Then only you can actually trade it. But I thought that I would show you as this is what is happening, and of course May 16th is its earnings. Now let's look at Caterpillar. Caterpillar actually fell quite a bit in the recent days, and then in addition to that, it actually forming something called a double bottom pattern. And the trend is still in red, but today it showed quite a bit of strength, but today everything else showed quite a bit of strength too. So I don't have a position in it yet. I'm not a big double bottom, double top type of a pattern trader. I do like when they form dragons or 2B tops and 2B bottoms, not pure double bottoms and double tops, but in this case it's a double bottom pattern. But Caterpillar is actually kind of a sign of an economy. So if it really closes about this 88 and 88.50, then I would think that even the S&P probably will be picking up too. So at this point I have no positions in Caterpillar too. The another one is the CMG, which is a Chipotle. I've been talking about this stock for quite some time. Chipotle has an inverse head and shoulder pattern. In my targets of a inverse head and shoulder pattern in the Chipotle is $379. So let's just actually quickly go into my new website and see how this inverse head and shoulder patterns would actually show up. Like here it's showing you ARUN is one of the pattern. Let's just go into the actual history and then see. If you were to type CMG, so here you'll see all the CMG posts, which are actually I posted it since I guess in the last 6 months, I believe. So let's say suppose if I were to go to the last chart in this, this is I posted about in. It's only May 4th, I guess, sorry, March 4th. Since March 4th, that was my targets, and I've been saying, that this is where its targets are. 379 is target range, and 351 and 364, when it was trading at 321, that would be the first target zone. The next one is a 379 for this inverse head and shoulder to complete. So that's how these sliders or the history actually works. Now let's go into looking at next one is the Salesforce. Salesforce, what's happening is I don't have a position yet, but it is actually bouncing. It's in an ABC pattern. It just crossed this EL level, and it's also at a 200 period moving average. One of the things we need to be cautious is if their earnings are due on May 16th. But the stock has been really in a strong uptrend, and probably this is kind of a retracement which came to this 200 period moving average. So I'll be a bit cautious, but I think that this is an ABC pattern, and if it does materialize, I guess the target ranges would be between $47 and $49. Next one is Cisco. Cisco's earnings are also due on May 15th. I'm not too positive. In the last last 2-3 months, Cisco has been in a trend has been sideways. And if you consider Juniper's recent earnings report, it was pretty bad, and because of that reason, I think I'm a little bit suspicious of Cisco too. Next one is Coinstar. Coinstar I have traded in the past. Coinstar also has a inverse head and shoulders pattern and also an ABC pattern. What else is happening is now it's actually within the inverse head and shoulder pattern. It bounced off of a 200 period moving average, but now it's again trading above the neckline. So if you have missed this the first time when it traded above neckline, this is another opportunity. And Coinstar's earnings are not due until July 25th. This is recently my favorite stock called 3D Systems. 3D Systems has been an ABC bullish pattern. It also bounced off of a 200 period moving average in an ABC pattern, and the target range is $44 and $48. That's the first target range. The next target would be much more higher, but I would think that about $54. And this one and also the another stock which is called Stratasys, which are both 3D printing stocks. The another one which I talked about it is called Devon Energy. Devon Energy has a double bottom pattern, and they recently had their earnings also. So today it actually bounced up quite a bit. It's about $1.58. So it is again in the double bottom pattern, and it's moving up. And its targets would be about 61.75. Another one is this is the Euro Ultra Short. This is an ABC pattern, but what else it's forming at this point is an inverse head and shoulder pattern. An inverse head and shoulder pattern and with a neckline is about $20. So this is the Euro Short. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to wait for it to actually cross in order for this inverse head and shoulder to cross the neckline for us to trade above this above the neckline to continue to the much higher. So that means that the euro is going to be tanking if that's what is going to happen. Okay, let's go to Facebook. Again, Facebook is not one of my stock to trade it, but I know lots of you guys probably trading it. So here is the one which is an ABC pattern. They did have a pretty positive earnings report. So, but today it actually fell, but yesterday they went up almost $1.50. So now I'm thinking that the target for the Facebook would be $33 and $35, and probably it could go even higher, but that would be the first target zone for the Facebook. Next one is Fossil. Fossil, I believe it also has an ABC, and its earnings are due next week, which is the May 7th. May 7th, which is a Tuesday. So here, this stock, recently it has been showing quite a bit of a positive strength, although the trend is still in red. What I'm expecting is, I guess, its earnings are due on May 7th, but I guess at least the first target would be 103, 112, 118 range would be its first target zone. 103, it might see a small resistance too, because that's where it's the 38% of AV comes in. Next is the FXI. This is the China's ETF. This is showing quite a bit of strength, and that's the reason some of these Chinese stocks are really performing it, and that's what I noticed it last Friday when I posted it. Here is the FXI. So the FXI targets would be between $40 and $42. And the next one is the FXY. FXY, which is the Japanese yen. Japanese yen, I guess I'm sure some of you know that it's been tanking. One of the pattern which we're noticing it for quite some time is it has a it has a head and shoulder pattern. So its targets, with what I'm looking at it, is 162%, which is about 95. That's where its probably targets are. And also, I think I talked about it briefly about the parabolic patterns, and this is one of the pattern which is actually going downside parabolic, and this is how the parabolic ranges are. And so now it's actually moving towards to down. Okay. The next one is another stock which I was out last week itself, but this stock has been incredibly showing great strength. Intel actually reached completed its first target zones 22 and 23, and I had 23 calls, and I actually fortunately closed it, so it's now trading at 24. But the next target ranges would be between 25 and $26 for the Intel. Next, let me show you this Monster. Monster Energy, it has got an ABC, but it also has an inverse head and shoulder pattern. And this one, which is again, the earnings are due on May 8th. It's a bit of a controversial stock, so I'll be a bit careful with the Monster Energy. Next one is a Nike. Nike I have traded in the past, but it is now finally reaching it's like, you know, ultra. This is the last of its target range between 227 and 262% of its AB levels between $62 and $65. So I guess, you know, would it reverse it from there? I don't think so, but, you know, I'm just going to show you this, but that's it. We're not going to short this stock either. Next is Oracle. Oracle again is in an ABC pattern, and Oracle's earnings are due on next month, which is in June. But it is actually showing quite a bit of a positive strength, and I'm expecting its targets would be between 35 and 36.5. Next one is a Priceline. I don't have a position in Priceline, but Priceline is obviously, it has an ABC pattern. It also has quite a few other ones, like it has a inverse head and shoulder patterns, but it has a, let's see if I can show. Oops, let's see. Well, I guess I can't show that pattern yet. See, it seems like there's two patterns, but it also has a Gartley pattern which is developing it. Next time I'll try to post it on my website. The next one is the Sohu. Sohu is again an ABC bullish pattern. It has now reached its first target range between $49 and $52. I guess the next would be about 55, or it could even go higher on because there's lots of these Chinese stocks which are actually showing quite a bit of strength. Then other one is a Spiders. Spiders again, you know, it's like S&P, of course. I already talked about it. In this, you know, it is now reached $161, and it also reached 127% of AB. I'll be a bit careful, but in the upside target, maybe it's all the way up to $168. Another one is a Stratasys, which I talked about it just briefly. This is again 3D stock, like a DDD, another one. Here the 3D Systems, and then this one also is an ABC bullish pattern. And then the last one I wanted to show you is the Tiffany. I have traded Tiffany in the past, and I have posted this also quite a few weeks. So Tiffany is now went beyond its first target zone, and it's heading towards the next target zone, which is between $77 and $83. That would be it for this week, guys, and thanks a lot. And please do attend these two webinars, which are next Tuesday and Wednesday. Do come to, I guess you can go onto my website and register it, or else you can also go to Trading on Target and probably register there also. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you guys Tuesday and Wednesday. Have a great weekend.